Woo-wee! That's a long walk. Hey everybody, Jeff Williams here with AskJeffWilliams.com. Okay, sorry about that long intro, but I thought it was something you might want to see. Now today I got something special for you. We're here in Eldorado Canyon, which is right outside of Nelson, at the famous Techatticup mine. Of course, that's a Paiute word for hunger or hungry. Can't imagine why. But anyway, we're down here taking a look around, and I think this is something you should see. The mine's got a tremendous amount of history, more than I could ever tell you on YouTube right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a brief history of the mine and the surrounding area, and then we're going to walk around and see everything. But from what I understand, local legend has that back in the 1700s, the Spaniards were up here mining gold. And before that, the Indians were up here mining gold. Well, then, of course, the white man showed up because the white man's traveling out west. And in the early 1850s, he came out here and found placer gold in the washes and followed it all the way up here to this canyon. And that's when they found the mighty Techatticup mine. Actually, it was the Savage mine first, and then later renamed. Well, the mine has a whole lot of history. It worked all the way up till 1941. They worked it non-stop for 70 years. You imagine the holes that are in there? And of course, and even there's Senator George Hearst owned it at one time. Believe that or not? Okay, so what happened is the mine was producing a tremendous amount of gold, and of course Executive Order L208 shut it down, and of course labor costs too. So if you want to come down here and see your own tour, what you need to do is go to Eldorado Canyon Minetours.com. Go there and then you can schedule your own tour. I'm telling you, everybody should come down here and get a piece of history, because I tell you what, this is one of the few last places that still has all the original buildings in there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you on a little tour on the inside of the building and around the mine. And if we're lucky, we get to go inside the mine. And then, of course, being me, we're going to take you down in the washes and I'm going to show you how to do some gold mining. So here we go. The mine is currently owned by Tony and Bobby Worley, who purchased it back in 1994, and 50 acres that surround the mine. Now, of course, when you walk in, you're going to see Bobby sitting behind the counter, always with a smile. And of course, Tony's usually in the mine, giving mine tours to anybody who will be brave enough to venture in. Now when you go walking around inside this building, you're gonna see more mining history than any state museum that you've ever been in. And some of the rooms have artifacts that could be considered out of this world. Okay, believe it or not, there's something special in here that you're not gonna see in everybody's freezer, okay? Take a look at this. Snake surprise, huh? You got some green and brown Mojaves that you're not going to see, at least you don't want to see if they're alive. But they freeze them, they put them in here so you guys can get a good look at what not to be stepping on. So, okay, what we got here is what's a miner's cabin. And there's a particular name that they call these, but I'm not going to tell you. But it's just a miner's cabin, and I'm going to show you why it's a miner's cabin. Come on. Okay, the reason why they call it a miner's cabin, at least this one, is because miner's sleeping on top of his mine. So it's a miner's cabin. There's the old miner over there, he's dead in his bed. Anyway, we're gonna go down and take a look inside the miner's cabin and see if he's got any gold. Let's go! Woo-wee! Okay, we're down here inside the miner's cabin, and as you can see, there's a lot of old artifacts down here. You can see all these old bottles over here. Dynamite boxes everywhere. Ooh, spooky. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through here and then we're gonna pop out and we're gonna go over to the mine real quick and see if there's any gold left in the mine. And then after that, we're gonna do our own gold mining. So here we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do is there's a little side tunnel over here that I know about, and we're gonna take a peek in there, and it connects to all the inner workings of the great Techatticup mine. So we're gonna come around the corner here, take a peek inside, and see if it's changed from the last 30 years since I've been in there. So let's go check it out. Okay, we're going into the mine. It goes back about 200 feet, connects to a bunch of drifts and other levels that connect to the main shaft. So come on, let's go. Okay, we're in the very first split, or stope as they call it, where they popped out. Now come here, I want you to take a look at this. Whoa! Okay, here you can see where they beautifully restored a lot of this. They got the steel tubing in here. Of course, when I first was in here 30 years ago, you didn't have this. You had to hold on for dear life. Anyway, if you look down here, it goes down another 200-300 feet, and then there's another winze at the bottom that drops down another 200 feet. So, but you can see that they restored this beautifully. The split goes all the way up to the surface, where they basically removed this huge quartz vein. You can see some of the quartz right here. This is where the gold was traveling, inside of this beautiful milky white quartz here. See all that? So they blast out this seam of quartz and then they grind it up into a powder and get the little flecks of gold out of there. But if you come over here, take a look down in there, take a look. You can see where it drops down quite a ways. All right, so we're gonna go back to the main drift and keep going in further to see what we can find. So let's go. Okay, we're gonna head down this way and go deeper in the mountain and see if we can find some more relics. So here we go. Okay, come here, take a look at this. We got a raise in the ceiling. You can see all the way up. And the reason why they did that is because if you look at the walls here, you can see all this beautiful milky white quartz all over the place. And they were following it to see if it would go anywhere and hit into another pocket. But here you can see this nice healthy quartz vein here and here. And they would follow it all over the place. So remember, in the ceiling it's a raise, in the floor it's called a winze. So let's go. Okay, what we got ourselves here is an ore bin. We got a raise in the ceiling. You can see it goes way, way up there. See all these black dots on here? That's how many times they would come by here. Come here, take a look at this. I want you to look straight at that raise. You can see that some of these raises follow those veins everywhere. Because you fall down something like that, oh, you're not going to be able to walk it off. So anyway, you can see some of the original mine back in here. This is what I'm used to seeing right here. This is what it looked like when I came through 30 years ago. Just like that. We're going to go back out and take a look around. So here we go. Woo-wee, I tell you what. I wouldn't be doing this in July. You'll bake your brains out. Anyway, what we've done is we've grabbed the old Vac Pac. We're going to do some crevicing here on the bedrock. You can see some of this beautiful looking bedrock here in the wash. We're right down past the lode mines that produced a lot of gold back in the late 1800s. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire up the old Vac Pac and suck the gold out. So here we go. I tell you what, it's hard on the old back. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'll take all the concentrates out of this bucket and we'll take it back to the house and see if we got any gold. I know we did, just a matter of how much. So here we go. Whee, I tell you what, this will work you. Okay, so we got the concentrates out of that wash down in Eldorado Canyon. You see them on here? And we're gonna go ahead and run that through a classifier. Just like that. Make sure it's all out of there. All right, get rid of that. Remember what I told you, classify down your concentrates. In this particular scenario, all right, put that over there. Get that all nice and wet. Pan that out. You gotta be gentle with it now. You don't want that gold flowing out of there. All right, that should be good enough. Come on, let's take a look at this. All right. Let's see if I can get that. There's some black sand. Shake that down. Oh yeah, look at that. See if I can. There's a couple pieces of lead too, probably from bullets. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. There's a piece of lead right there from a bullet. There's a nice flake right there. Look at that. Whole bunch of fines. Let me see if I can get that. Oh, look at that. There's some more underneath that. That ain't half bad. Get those to stratify up to the top. Shake, shake, shake. Got all that lead in there, that's the problem. That's not bad, look at that. You got some nice pieces right up in there. Got a nice piece right there. And then you got a nice flake right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's nice, I like that. And you got some smaller fines in there, some pieces right in there. Look really rough, like they haven't traveled very far, so. Anyway. There you go. There's still gold in those old washes right outside of Eldorado Canyon. And I'm sure if you get yourself out there, you're going to get yourself some gold too. Gold! So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's little episode. It's really been fun going out there. I've always enjoyed being out there and always have for the last 25, 30 years. And I'm glad you could come along and share it with me. So as usual, if you've enjoyed today's video, please rate, share, subscribe, and as usual, leave me a comment. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Anyway, so until next time, this has been Jeff Williams with AskJeffWilliams.com saying if you want to be the fellow to bellow hello to the mellow yellow, you gotta get out there and dig it, man. Take care.